Hey everyone, today's lesson is lesson 107 and it's finding the area of complex shapes. So really goes right, hand in hand with the lesson that you had just a few lessons ago where you found the perimeter of complex shapes. This goes hand in hand with that. Now, this is not just looking at the outside of it. This is talking about the inside of a complex shape. So kind of up until this point, we had pretty specific formulas. For example, base times height that gave us the inside area of a shape. And it's absolutely possible with a complex shape. All you have to do is break it apart. So we just have one example today that I'm going to go through, but you don't really need many examples to kind of get an idea for how to do this. I love with this that there are many ways to see math, right? And we talk about that and celebrate that in our math class a lot. And this is one of those ways that kind of validates that. So you're going to look at a complex shape and your mind, this might actually be kind of an interesting trick for you to have like someone in your family who's nearby when you're watching this video, pause it and say like, well, this is how I would break it up. How would you break it up? And just see like amongst a couple people around you, we all will see it differently. We'll all look at a complex shape and in our brain, want to break it up differently. So, and guess what? All of the answers will give us the right answer. So if your computation is correct. So that's kind of cool. I always love situations like that. So let's just give this a try. Area of complex shapes. Our learning target for today is to find the area of a complex shape. Today's complex shapes, I'm trying to remember if they involve triangles at all. Let's just review really quick. Actually, before I go any further, let's just talk about some really basic formulas that are important for you to know today. The area of a quadrilateral, so a parallelogram, a square, a rectangle, is going to be, need my pen. Area equals, base times height. That's a really common one that you're going to need to know. I don't think in this example that I'm about to do in a moment, I don't think that example involves a triangle, but I'm pretty sure your homework assignment does. So don't freak out about that. You know how to find the area of a triangle. The area of a triangle is this, base times height, divided by 2. And of course that makes sense because if we take a rectangle, cut it in half, we have 2 triangles. So base times height divided by 2. That's the formula you would use. So let's go ahead and scroll, take a look at this example. So this is actually the exact same complex shape. And they've listed it here 2 times, so I can show you 2 different ways to break up this complex shape and how they'll both give us the right answer. So basically, I like this note right here that sums up the whole lesson in one statement. Look at this complex shape, cut it into shapes that you can find the area of, then add together all the areas. That's all you have to do. So let's look at this first one. I'm going to get my pen ready. Again, if you want to try this on your own, go ahead and pause it, give it a try, and unpause your video when you're ready to kind of check in with me and do a skill check with my work. So I don't know. Again, we have some missing information. That's our first step. A and B are missing. This is the same figure we used a couple of lessons ago, but I don't even remember what the missing values were. So let's solve for that again. The length of B, even though we're not solving perimeter, that's really important when we're solving area. We still need to know that side length. So we do know 7 and we do know 3. That means that B's length is 4. And then that looks like a Y. I'm sorry. So same thing, we need to solve for A. We do know 6 and we do know 4. So that makes A 2. Why can I never make a 2 with this thing? I just don't know. I'm sorry. Okay, so how do I want to break this up? I don't know. Let's go like this. When I break it up, I'm going to make like these dotted lines like this. Not super easy with this stylus and this flipped up touchscreen Chromebook, but we're going to work with it. So now I have 2 rectangles or 2 quadrilaterals. Easy peasy. I can do this. So I'm just going to find the area of each and add them together. Right here, I have 3 times 6, and that is 18. And here I have 4 times 4, and that is 16. And I need to add those together. I know that 16 plus 16 would be 32, plus 2 more would be 34. Gosh, I hope my math is right. I didn't do this ahead of time. 34 centimeters, and anytime we're dealing with area, our exponent is a little 2. It's centimeters squared. Okay, so let's try the same problem a different way, see if we also get 34. This time, so we still know that the value of B is 4 and the value of A is 2. Let's break it up a different way this time. Come on. Yikes, that didn't work super well, but you get the idea. I have a rectangle on top and a rectangle on bottom. Let's just find the area, multiply, add them together. So now I have, on top, I have 2 times 3, and that's 6. And the base down here, I have 7 times 4. You see why I'm using the numbers I am? Base times height. I should have identified that. Base times height. Again, here I have like a height and a base, base and a height, base and a height, base and a height. Okay, so 7 times 4 is 28. So now I have 28 plus 6 brings me to 34. Good, my math was right. 34 centimeters squared. Ugh, those darn 2's are really hard with this thing. So given complex shapes, break them apart, calculate the area for small pieces of them, add them all together. Don't forget that piece. Don't just leave it separate. Have to combine them all together. Make sure you're labeling your answer correctly. If you're doing your homework for me for this assignment via Google Forms, there wasn't a way for me. Oh no. We're losing our document again, but there wasn't a way for me to use the exponent of 2, so you'll see that I typed out the word squared. So if you're submitting paper homework, you can feel free to label your answers with a little exponent of 2. Otherwise, in your homework via Google Forms, you'll see the word squared. You might have to type the word squared. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great day. End the video, come on.